And then with letter 7 and 8, we're going to glue those together. This is your ability to sustain a peer relationship. That is, to continue an equalitarian relationship. Now, lots of people find no problem at all getting into them, but staying in them, maintaining a comfortable and harmonious and mutually pleasurable relationship is more of a problem. And both letters 7 and 8 are part of this picture. People, I don't understand, but people seem to not realize that letter 8 is just as much partnership as letter 7. Letter 7 is air, of course, Libra, the natural house of Libra, for the 7th house, and Venus, the co-ruler, where we have an open confrontation between two people. Remember, air is space between intellect involved, knowledge and understanding, and talking it over. So it's easier to work out a verbal understanding and cooperation and compromise with letter 7. Letter 8, as the polar partner of letter 2, is where we share the physical world. With Taurus in the 2nd house, it was my possessions for my pleasure on my own terms. I earn them and I do what I want with them. With letter 8, it's our possessions and our pleasures, and we have to learn how to give and receive and share for mutual satisfaction and not one-sided. And also we're learning to master our appetites and not just indulge them as we do with letter 2. So properly handled, letter 8 is able to give and receive and share, enjoy the world, but be master of the appetites and not just a slave to them. Improperly handled, which is very common, unfortunately, then you get what the books are full of for Pluto: gangsters, taking what you don't own, excessive sensuality. It's actually rather common to see the Taurus-Scorpio polarity, or 2nd house, 8th house polarity, swinging between excesses and asceticism, overdoing and then really clamping down and over-controlling, and then going back into a burst of excess again, until they work out some kind of harmony and balance there in those principles. So this is the periodic dieter. That's mine. Diet one week and overeat the next. Or the person who drinks and wishes they didn't have to drink so much. The person who smokes and keeps trying to cut down on it. The person who debates spending versus saving. Or my money versus your money. Dependency versus nurturance. Any kind of sex versus celibacy. Any kind of confrontation there between enjoying the world and controlling it, between doing it in our own way and sharing it. So you actually have sensuality and pleasure and indulgence in all 3 of those fixed letters, 2, 5, and 8. Any of the pleasures can be involved in 2 and 8. And 5 is most especially love, but it does include sex for procreation, for creative act. And often there are power struggles if it isn't worked out. As with letter 2, we have total power over our own possessions. It's my chair and I want to break it up, so that's no skin off your nose. But if it's our chair and I decide I want to take a sledgehammer to it or give it away to Goodwill, that's another trip. Now these sides of life that we've just been discussing, I call the interpersonal area of life. Personal needs versus interpersonal has 2 major divisions. And Cancer, letter 4, really is a fulcrum that